I was about to film this video and then I saw something. Breaking news, you guys. Breaking news, because guess what? The UK's Charity Commission has opened a case into sentebale mess. And also Prince Harry has broken his silence over this entire debacle. Guys, there are two things you don't mess with when it comes to Prince Harry. First, you don't mess with his wife. Second, you don't mess with things he's passionate about, because you will get pushback. He will bounce back and pawn on you. You don't mess with Harry's charity and you think you will get away with it. And I am so happy that finally the UK Charity Commission has decided to open a case and look into the sentebale mess. So hopefully they do a good job, a fair job. I hope there will not be fair play and bring out the truth, because it's time this woman gets out of sentebale. I mean it. I want her out. I cannot stand her, because at the end of the day, the people who are suffering are those vulnerable kids, the people living with HIV and AIDS. And it's sad that Prince Seesaw and Prince Harry had to walk away from their own charity that they founded in honor of their mothers. So Prince Harry actually broke silence, and I'm so excited that finally he is letting us know you don't play with him. So in a statement, the Duke of Sussex said, "From the inception of sentebale nearly 20 years ago, Prince Seesaw and I have had a clear goal to support the children and young people in Southern Africa in memory of our mothers." He added, "What has transpired over the last week has been heartbreaking to witness, especially when such blatant lies hurt those who have invested decades in this shared goal." Harry expressed concern for the charity's beneficiaries, saying, "No one suffers more than the beneficiaries of sentebale itself." He welcomed the investigation, stating, "We fully expect it will unveil the truth that collectively forced us to resign." I hope so too. Well done, Harry. We want you to fight. We are rallying behind you. Please fight. Don't let this woman get away with taking or with playing with things that you and Prince Seesaw have worked so hard on to just bring change to the world, to make a world a better place. I will be updating you guys on everything that will be taking place. So I'm just glad I wanted you guys to know, because I was just preparing to do this story and then I saw the breaking news and I felt like I had to tell my people what's happening. So yes, stay tuned. I just wanted you guys to know. Now, back to the agent of chaos, none other than Sophie Chandauka. And now I am so happy a little bit that journalists are now doing something they were supposed to be doing, because the New York Times actually wrote something about Sophie Chandauka, and I am here for it. For anyone who is like, what are you talking about? They wrote an article about Sophie Chandauka. You want me to tell you? They wrote an article about Sophie Chandauka, but this time they were exposing the people and how much he paid them. You remember the mysterious $400,000 that he paid to the so-called external consultants to bring in fundraising ideas and sponsors for the sentebale charity? Well, guess now we know how much each and every one of them got. I did a video where I said she was diverting funds from sentebale to his relatives and close associates. Guess what? I was right. Because one of that associate, you remember Sarah Asen, I covered that video. If you've not watched, please go watch, actually received the amount. And finally, they are exposing them. So the British royalist girls are fighting. It's well to see this sentebale catastrophe play out. Sophie Chandauka is doing everything she can to parrot all of the most deranged royalist talking points, and many British outlets have been doing the most to use her words to drag Prince Harry. But there's been a hell of a lot fight back from now former sentebale trustees and Team Sussex to way to go Team Sussex. I'm guessing now the royal reporters are doing some actual reporting on what Chandauka was doing in her less than 2 years as sentebale's chairwoman, and how much money she was wasting on bullshit consultants. Finally, the New York Times, now they're trying to. Now this is what they say. Now let me just get to the root. Let me just read as we break down together, because I wanted you guys to have facts. Sometimes you guys ask me, where did you get this source? New York Times. I'm going to read so that you guys don't think I'm coming up with stories or I'm crazy or whatever. Listen. The chair of Prince Harry's charity has spent more than £400,000 on consultant fees since she took on the post in July 2023. Sophie Chandauka has been involved in a bitter war of words after several trustees, including the Duke of Sussex, resigned from Sentebale, the charity Harry founded in honor of his late mother. Chandauka has now shut down her social media accounts amid allegations of online bullying by racist trolls. She was called a fraud and accused of jumping on a bandwagon of hate by users professing to support the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. A spokesman for Sentebale said Dr. Chandauka deleted her Twitter account due to the proliferation of online bullying. Well, so when it's dished back to you, you had a taste of your own medicine. Now you know how Harry and Meghan feel, and they have had to go through that for years to date. You had just a tiny bit of what they endure. You cannot walk a mile, and I keep telling you, most of these derangers or haters who like jumping on the hate wagon when it comes to Harry and Meghan, they cannot walk a mile, literally, in their shoes. We're getting to the best part because you guys are about to be pissed. These days I learned how to control my emotions because sometimes I get so angry. So just wait. You thought it's getting worse? It's gonna get worse. Wait. In total, between June 2023 and January 2025, the organization spent £427,497 on media and website consultants, a higher expenditure than during previous years. It is understood that the board at the time signed off on the expenditure. The highest bill was for £185,000, which was paid to Lebec, a woman-led strategy firm founded by Alex Lebec, a former asset manager who has held leadership roles in the World Bank, the Clinton Global Initiative, and Water.org. A source said that Lebec convened a reception, panel discussion, and intimate dinner at Zaytinya restaurant at the Ritz-Carlton on Miami South Beach in April last year to highlight Sentebale's impactful work. At the event, Alex Lebec was seen sitting alongside Harry and Chandauka in a panel discussion entitled Potential is Waiting. Harry told guests at the Florida event that Africa is in my heart and Africa is my soul. One of the guests at the dinner was Ian Rawlison, who was appointed as a new trustee last week. Rawlison, who on Sunday was sitting next to Chandauka, as he told Sky News that the organization was responsible for harassment and bullying at scale, has also been paid by the charity. He received £24,000. I repeat, he received £24,000 for his consultancy services and is said to be owed a further $66,000. So if you add that to, you get $90,000. Here's where I have a problem. First and foremost, Ian Rawlison is William's henchman, or aide, whatever you want to call him. It's crazy to me that he was paid this amount of money before he was just signed as a trustee a few days after all the trustees at Sentebale resigned, and then he was signed as a trustee, and then a few days later he is on TV seated next to Sophie Chandauka and with his baseless claims of racism, harassment, bullying, misogyny. Crazy, right? This man, William's aide, was paid $24,000 and then add the $66,000 that he is still owed. Mind you, he was not part of the Sentebale. He was not there. He was not part of Sentebale. Why was he paid this amount of money, $90,000? And this is crazy to me because now everything is starting to make sense. I think this person has always been part of Sentebale. He was just waiting for the perfect timing to crumble everything to the ground. He was just waiting for William's orders on what to do, and he was just literally repeating what William is telling him as an advisor to Sophie, because this is William's playbook. This is his handwriting is written all over this. You mean you paid a William's henchman £90,000 for what? For what? And then a few days later you hire him as a consultant. Make it make sense, because this is where I have a problem. And then people, when you say William is behind this, people are like, oh, but he is. He really is. The Miami event was followed by an event in Johannesburg in October. The second event featured a panel discussion moderated by Chandauka and featuring Harry, Alex Lebeck, Stacey Boyd, founder and chief executive of Olivella, a luxury retailer that raises money for girls' education, and Hector Mujica, a Google executive. The event was organized with strategic advice from Lebeck and Ian Rawlison of Rawlison Partners. The charity said at the time, Global Philanthropic, a fundraising consultancy where Rawlison had served as both the director and chair, also received £21,600,000 from Sentebale during this period. So this man was paid twice. William is all over this. You're not going to convince me otherwise. This man wants to just destroy everything that his brother is passionate about. Because what do you mean this man was paid twice? First, the 90,000, which by the way we don't even know what it was for. Right? Maybe let's say let me assume it's consultation, because he is supposed to be Sophie's advisor. So let me assume that is what the money was for. And then to have him be paid a further 21,600, his company, by the way, the Global Philanthropic, a fundraising consultancy where Rawlison has served as both the director and chair. That speaks volume. This man has just been behind the scenes. He was planted by William. It's just sad that they did not realize until it was too late. This is William all over this. You guys are not good. It gets better. Just wait. You're going to be pissed. Just hold on. You see, these days I'm really calm. So Sarah Essian, you remember? And I remember a lot of trolls came for me when I did a video of Sophie diverting funds for the sentebale funds to close associates and to his brother and relatives. They came for me. How dare you? Man, so are you shocked? Sarah Essian, she is a very close friend or associate, whatever you want to call her, to Sophie Chandauka. So here, Sarah Essian, a consultant who is reported to have worked closely with Chandauka at Morgan Stanley, was paid £41,451. Mind you, the so-called Sarah Essian is also now working for Sophie Chandauka's company and his brother's Tinashe Chandauka, Nandi Sciences. Sophie Chandauka and his brother Tinashe Chandauka have a company called Nandi Sciences, and this Sarah Essian is also working there, and she was also a consultant to Sentebale. Am I making sense? I hope you get. And his brother is a consultant at the Sentebale charity fund as well, and he is the CEO of the Nandi Sciences. Put two and two together. What does that scream? What does that scream? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me go on. So another consultant, Dawn White, who worked at the Black British Business Awards, which was founded by Chandauka in 2014, received £26,110 during this period. These people somehow, like this is no coincidence. Like each and every consultant is either a friend or a family member to Sophie Chandauka. I don't believe in coincidences. There's no way I believe in coincidences. And I think these are some of the reasons that Prince Harry, Princess, or the trustees found out and they told her to step down and she refused. And that just tells me she has more skeletons to hide. She has more skeletons in her closet that she's leading on. Because how is it that every person you either worked with, they are close to you, or their family, they are the so-called consultants, you paid $400,000, you brought them, yeah, to come up with fundraising ideas, and they so happen to be close to you. You've known them, you've worked so long, and you're paying them these amounts of money. And the worst part is of all of this is there's nothing. Like it was just a blow off. It's just crazy. This is crazy, guys. This woman is nuts. So such high spending consultants, I've forgotten, received, Other payments included £46,124 to Media Consultant and £12,114 to an unnamed website consultant. Unnamed. Listen, his brother Tinashe Chandauka, who's also a consultant at Sentebale, they've not disclosed the amount he received, but it's actually believed he also got a huge payout for his consultancy, if you know what I mean, right? We just don't know the exact figures. Maybe he even is the unnamed, website. Honestly, I'm not even surprised. This woman is nuts. So such high spending on consultants is understood to have created tension with the organization as it made a transformation to shift its focus towards Africa. A source close to the situation said, all of a sudden, there were huge amounts being spent on consultants and they didn't feel like there were anything to show for it. It was hoped that they would bring in lots of fundraising, but that didn't happen. To spend nearly £500,000 on consultants at a charity that raises around £1.5 million a year seemed ludicrous. When a deal with a potential donor fell through in December, many of the trustees began to think that her strategy was not working. A Sentebale spokesman said in November 2023, Sentebale engaged Lebec and its team of 6 consultants to provide tools and strategic guidance on how to better prepare for entry into the US marketplace and build credibility. Over the course of a 12-month engagement, Lebec successfully delivered against every single deliverable, including facilitating 65 key connections with potential strategic partners, connectors, advisory board members, and funders. These relationships were transferred to Sentebale, with Lebec completed its formal engagement in October 2024 on the understanding that Sentebale would nurture these relationships to support its fundraising and impact efforts. Are you shocked? Like, I hope you are shocked, because what do you mean? That every person, and you paying this amount of money? This is crazy. So Sentebale engaged Lebec and its team of 6 consultants to provide tools and strategic guidance on how to better prepare for entry into the US marketplace and build credibility. The chairwoman threw a tantrum on British television about the presence of Serena Williams, a Black American entrepreneur of venture, capitalist, and sports icon, at a Sentebale fundraiser. That seems like a terrible way for Sentebale to build credibility in American markets. It also seems like Chandauka was churning through Sentebale's coffers with nothing to show for it. People were alienated by her and her bullshit. So consultants just gave us some corporate double speak, and no one actually wrote any checks to Sentebale. It absolutely looks like Prince William's ally Ian Rawlison saw an opening to exploit Chandauka and Sentebale 1 year ago, and his consultation was mostly about helping Chandauka destroy Sentebale from within. Guys, gets crazy. But we are going to expose this woman, and I'm glad that the charity is stepping in. The commission is stepping in to do a conducive investigation. So I wanted you guys to know the exact figures, because they were hiding those figures, but now they've been exposed. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you with more exclusive news.